Packers will have their team photo and final practice today before Sunday's matchup with the Steelers.
Our own Rachel Monick is once again braving the winter elements in the Dallas area. She joins us live. Hi, Rachel.
Good morning. I'm really tired of this Wisconsin weather here in Texas. Take a look at this. Is the main intersection here in the historic stockyards of Fort Worth. A lot of Western shops are line the streets here. This is where a lot of people want to come to get that Western feel. I'm not so sure how busy they will be today because of the snow. Take a look at the streets, the sidewalks. They don't have shovels, or I haven't seen any. No snowplows have come through. Cars are driving very slowly. I just saw a guy walk by wrapped in a blanket, and I'm assuming it's because he doesn't have the proper down coat because he lives in Texas. This is crazy. This is really affecting the cities around here. The school is closed for the 4th day in a row. Some of the highways are you can't get to them. They're inaccessible because the ramps are closed, and that's because the snowplows can't keep up. They don't have salt down here. They have sand, and they're doing the best that they can to keep traffic moving safely. Traffic is going faster right now than we've seen all morning, so people are getting used to it. They're waking up trying to get into work. A lot of the stores here have signs on them that say closing early because of the weather, or opening late because of the weather. But there are so many things to see and do if you do make it down here to the Fort Worth Stockyards. The other day we stopped by for a talk with Kristen Jaworski. She's the trail boss.
Back in the heyday, the stockyards was known as the Wall Street of the West, where all of the cattle, hogs, sheep, horses, and mules, everything was brought to the stockyards for trading purposes. Prior to the stockyards being built was a very historic period in our history when cattle drives and longhorns were driven from South Texas north through Fort Worth to the rail markets in Kansas. That's what we represent here at the Fort Worth herd.
And we get to see a cattle drive.
You do.
Twice
yes.
a day?
Yes, the cattle drive is every day at 11:30 and 4 o'clock, right along East Exchange Avenue, where visitors from all over the world of any age can see these majestic longhorns pass right by you, right on the sidewalk.
Why do you think it's important for people to be able to see that and witness it?
I think it's very important for people to be able to interact with us, to see why we're dressed the way we are, that our horses are actually a utility, and the longhorn has such a historic significance. A lot of people don't cherish that, A lot of people don't cherish that the way that we used to. So we're holding on to our Western history, our Western heritage here in Fort Worth that this city was built on 130 years ago.
Last week they said they had several thousand people lining the streets to watch the cattle drive. Real quiet this week, but again, a lot of people are in for the Super Bowl, and if the weather changes and improves, they'll be able to see that cattle drive twice a day. And one of the people helping to lead the herd is Brenda, the cowgirl, and she showed us about the equipment that they use.
Welcome to the Fort Worth herd. This is Bose, and Drover back in the 1800s to go up the cattle trail would have to have a lot of gear to go up that trail. And if you'll notice this horse, he's got a 1800 bridle here. We got a 1800 saddle. You couldn't do your job without a good looking saddle like this. It's a Texas trail driver's saddle. You couldn't do your work bareback because it took a lot of equipment, just like our gear that we're wearing. Japs, I'm geared up and we are ready to go. To go on a trail, to drive 3,000 head of longhorns up the trail, it would take cowboy gear. And one of the gears I'm going to kind of show you a little bit about is this good-looking spur I've got on this good-looking pair of boots. Is that not neat? Most guys wear those spurs so they would sound pretty cool and look cool walking up the street. But if you'll notice that rowel, it's not sharp, it doesn't hurt anybody, it goes around and around, and what that does, it moves the horse.
Doesn't hurt the horse, it moves the horse. All of the cowboys and cowgirls are happy to talk about the authentic Western culture that they are doing here in the historic stockyards. Take another look down here. We are in Fort Worth We are just outside of the White Elephant Saloon. We're going to head inside, warm up a little bit, and we're going to meet Chef Tim Love. You may know his name if you're a fan of Iron Chef. So he's going to be cooking up some special cuisine from Texas coming up.
I loved that cattle drive, Rachel. Those longhorns are so beautiful.
They're so neat to look at it. And it's kind of a saunter. It's kind of a mosey down the street, but really something to see. And I don't know, and I'll try to find out by the end of the show, if they will do that when the streets look like this, but I'm assuming yes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yep. See ya. Y'all.